It's been a while, but guess what? Patreon subscribers get this first, and then, now y'all get it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back 2024. You know what episode this is? Episode 268 of
No, baby, that's for somebody else. We're just gonna keep you right where you're at right now.
It doesn't matter what you think.
The Wrestling Realm presents Break It Down with Brian H.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this episode of Break It Down with Brian H. I am your host, Brian H. Waters. This show brought to you by the Wrestling Realm. And you know what we do? We keep it 100 right here. Make sure you like the Facebook fan page. And if you haven't done so, hit the subscribe button to our YouTube channel by clicking below. Or if you're listening on Apple, Spotify, or anything else, hit the follow button, drop a 5-star rating, and continue to support. And you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Threads, or if you want to say X, at Wrestling Realm, and follow me on all social media platforms at Brian H. Waters, and of course, even TikTok. Ladies and gentlemen, there's been a movement in the world of professional wrestling, and it is beautiful. I want to sit up here and say that I'm loving it. Now, I've been very vocal on this platform about my thoughts about one of the leaders of that, and that being HBK Shawn Michaels, as far as his role in the Montreal Screwjob. But that's over. That's been the past. I am a fan because what I've seen Shawn Michaels do something that I've never seen done before, and that is showcase a lot of Black women. That is something that is just beautiful. When you look at the NXT roster, right, you have more Black women that are different, that are allowed to be themselves better than ever before, right? As I sit back, because we're going to give them the respect that they deserve. First of all, we're going to give a shout out to Alicia Taylor, who's now on SmackDown, but we saw Shawn Michaels give her his blessing and well wishes as she head to SmackDown, and she was the ring announcer down there for some of the greatest moments. But we start with Ava Rain. We all know as The Rock's daughter. Moving on down, we got Jaida Parker. We have Kelani Jordan, Lash Legend. We have Soul Ruca. All these Black women, right? We just saw Kiana James go to the main roster. And the thing I'm loving about this is they are allowed to be themselves. It's no more of the cookie cutterness, right? No more of the cookie cutter superstar. Yeah, a couple years ago, Sasha Banks and Naomi walked out. Two Black women who were tag team champions, accomplished Black women in the world of pro wrestling. A part of them leaving, what we saw was that, they just wasn't being heard as far as what we know, because we still don't know everything. Now, I remember hearing Naomi quoted saying she felt disrespected. And it's so good to see that she's back in WWE. We see Mercedes Vernado Mercedes Moné, who used to be Sasha Banks, over in AEW, could possibly be the main eventer of tonight. I mean, of this Sunday's pay-per-view. But now what we're seeing these women in NXT who you have somebody like a Kelani Jordan, right? Who could be your inspiration, who's, you're a hard worker. She's trying to be nice. She's trying to do everything the right way. Very skilled and athletic, right? Then you have somebody like a Jaida Parker, former athlete, or I should say former soccer player, she's an athlete, who get in your face. She's not playing around. She goes out there, perfect heel. You have Lash Legend, who is, I miss Jakara Jackson. I'm so sorry. But Lash Legend, tall, athletic, former basketball player, who's, she's very good on the microphone. She's wrestler. She's a wrestler. But you see the thing she got going on with Trick Williams. And you got Jakara Jackson, who's very feisty, right? Then you have Soul Ruca, who's very chill, very laid back. People didn't realize she was black, Her dad was a surfer, and she's a surfer, And it's so good to see that you also have a lot of women on Level Up and who are fresh, who just signed their NIL deals, who are learning the craft. And I think it's very good that we're seeing this renaissance of, Black women. Women's wrestling has deserved a lot. I talked about this a few weeks ago on the show. I said that there's time for an evolution too. There's time for a all women's show weekly. I wanted to focus this on the Black women who are doing their thing. You look on the main roster: Naomi, Jade Cargill, and Bianca Belair are the tag team champions. Then with Naomi known as the Big Three. But we know who they are, right? But the future is bright. See, because when you had Jacqueline, that's it. You didn't know who was up next. When you had Jazz, you didn't know who was up next. You see the future in a few years, right? In a few years, you could have Lash Legend and Jade Cargill going one-on-one in a feud or for the women's championship, right? You could have a Jaida Parker versus a Bianca Belair. You could have a Naomi versus a Kelani Jordan. There's endless possibilities. So I'm loving what they're doing right now in NXT. I'm loving what the WWE is doing because I think it's great. And I'm very, very excited about what's going to happen. Just in the ladder match to crown the North American Women's Champion, you already have Soul Ruca, Lash Legend, and Jaida Parker have already qualified for that match. When's the last time you've seen that? Now, it's always the running joke because you got Obafemi, who's the NXT North American champion. You had it on Wesley, Swerve Strickland, Ricochet, Velveteen Dream. There was always Keith Lee. There was always the joke that was the black title. But man, look, if they want to do it to women, I'm fine with it. You had a black woman introduce it. Shout out to Ava Rain. So with all this going on, it's very exciting. We are definitely in a new era, the Paul Levesque era, which is also the sublet of that is the HBK era. I always say I love producer Shawn Michaels. Now I'm a Bret Hart fanatic, right? Bret's my guy. That is the Bret Hart belt. But let me tell you, producer Shawn, he's special. So that's how I wanted to talk about that real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for checking out this episode of Break It Down with Brian H. Keeping it 100. Make sure you subscribe to the Patreon. As I do more of these, I'll release them there first. Shout out to all the supporters who support the show, who's been right there. We appreciate you. Until the next time, folks, so long, everybody.